Social media is not only one of the best places of gathering intel about the girl you want to seduce, but it is also a very good platform for meeting more hot women and getting to know them. But unfortunately, due to a plethora of bad dating advices and cringy pickup lines out there, majority of guys absolutely fuck up their chances of actually getting to know a girl through social media. And if you too are tired of those cringy pickup messages that make you do stupid shit like sending a girl a random picture of a freaking dog and saying, "Oh, my dog just wandered off to your DM, I'm just here to pick him up," and expecting the girl to actually take you seriously and reply to your corny text, well, then you are watching the perfect video because fuck that shit. We all know that it never works and it instantly puts you in the creepy nerd zone and makes you feel embarrassed. Therefore, in today's video, I present you the actual real world way of truly sliding into a girl's DM and making her like you, trust you, and take you seriously. Using this method will almost guarantee you getting more holes from social media than ever before. But before I begin, I want to quickly apologize for the delay in uploads. There was just a lot going on in my personal life and I had university exams as well, so the schedule got a little hectic. But no worries, I will be back on track with regular uploads real soon. For now, here is the 3-step method for sliding into any girl's DM. Step 1. Study her interests. Take a close look at her story highlights, know about her interests, point out whether she is an introvert or an extrovert, and take a note of her keen interests like what kind of book she likes reading, is she a fantasy lover or more of a romance reader, and if she is even a reader or not. What you are doing right now is gathering all the intel about your target so that you can use it later on to your advantage. For example, if you find out that she is more of a cat person, then you might be able to strike positive conversations with her about cats and send her various cat memes later on once you have actually broken the ice with her. Or if you find out that her favorite singer is Taylor Swift, or that she has shared her Spotify playlist or Instagram by any chance, then you can straight up save her playlist and then say to her, "Oh, I really like that song Wildest Dreams of Taylor Swift. It's in fact one of my playlist items." To which she will react with something like, "Oh, you listen to Taylor too? She's my favorite and Wildest Dreams is also in my playlist as well." And there you go. You use the intel you gather in this step to build additional layers of rapport for the future. Now, moving on to step 2, the intelligent approach. Once you find out about her keen interests, you wait for the right moment patiently till she uploads something fresh about that interest in her story. For example, if you find out that she likes writing poems, then you wait till she uploads another one of her poems on her story. Meanwhile, you go and write your own poem about something totally unrelated to her. Now, here, you don't necessarily have to be a freaking poet. You can just go to Google and download some random short poems about some sort of bird or whatever and just change the words a little and say that you wrote it. Now, it's not like you are stealing anyone's work, you are just using the internet to your advantage. Is this manipulative? Yeah. But is it wrong? Absolutely not. Girls do this all the time in ways we never even notice, so this time, we turn the tables. Now again, once she uploads her story, you first of all appreciate her work and say good, natural stuff about it. Make it a one-liner and don't go ahead comparing her work with Shakespeare. Just be normal and say that the poem was good. Here is an example of what you can say. "Hey, that's a nice poem. Like the way you compared those mountains with your emotions." Then once she is like, "Oh, thank you so much," then you can say, "Oh, it's okay. I'm just a beginner in poetry as well and thought that maybe you can read my poems and give them a quick judge." And after she is like, "Oh yeah, sure, send them in," then you send her that rewritten poem and let her judge it. Be honest with her about you being a beginner and say that you thought maybe she might be able to help you in learning more about poetry. And once she is done with her judgment, you go ahead and ask her about poetry stuff and her suggestions, and then start asking about her personal stuff like for how long is she writing poems, why she started it, and who was her inspiration, and blah blah blah. Just show her your interest in both herself and her talent and begin talking to her. This is the natural way of approaching the girl on social media intelligently without her thinking that you are just another creepy guy trying to hit on her. And here is another example. If she's like a reader who likes to read novels, then you can just wait for her to post a story about one of her books and reply to it saying, "Oh, is that a Mills and Boons novel? I really like their work too, especially the DeSantis marriage novel. Have you ever read it?" And there we go, talking about novels of her interest. Another example, let's say that she is a traveler who likes hiking. She uploads a story about her going on hiking to a mountain. Then you can say, "Oh, that's such a lovely mountain. Where is it? Like, is this within the Arizona trials or are you somewhere around Utah?" Then wait for her to reply and tell you where she is, and then begin telling her stories about how your grandfather used to take you hiking to the mountains as a kid, even if it's a made up story and you have never been to hiking in your entire life. So, this is the second step of the process which will allow you to strike a natural conversation with your desired woman. Just keep in mind that sliding into anyone's DM or even dating in general is a numbers game, and the more women you approach, the higher the chances of success get. Just follow the ethical guidelines and never spam. And after that, move on to the final step, which is step 3, following up. Always remember that sliding into a girl's DM and talking to her on social media is just the beginning of the process. Your full focus should be on making her like and trust you and then going out for an actual date with her. And all that includes strategically using techniques like the illusion of choice and the influencing commands, which I've talked about in my other videos on this channel. So, I do recommend you to check them out so that you can get the entire overview of the entire tactical attraction dating blueprint from start to finish. But if you want to learn more about all our real world, easy to use seduction methods in full detail and become a master of subconscious seduction, then you need to head over to the first link in the description right now, because that link will take you to a detailed video lecture about tactical attraction hosted by my friend Brandon, who will introduce you to our advanced and infamous 3 magic word formula, using which you can gain the ability of literally reprogramming the female mind and triggering any girl's sexual personality, making yourself the center of all her physical desires. So, don't wait and click on the first link in the description right now and let this be the beginning of your new empowered life.